Hi everybody, Nick here, and today I'm going to show you the progress I've made throughout the whole 4 years of my experience with drawing. I've been really into drawing for 8 years now, and I went through lots of trial and error. There's not really a wrong way to draw, but I found things I like doing more than other things, and I want to show this to beginner artists so that they understand that it's cool to try that. Back when I was younger, I picked more grayish and dull colors for my drawings, and there's nothing really wrong with this color palette, but back then I was told that this is the only way to draw, which it really depends on the mood that you want to show. And my drawing is more of an exciting, silly girl with an updo with her tongue out. So I decided to add some vibrant colors instead of the dull colors. And I changed the hue around a little bit. It's that circle on the color palette. And I usually go with analogous colors or complementary colors. I used to shade my hair sort of around it with a darker and grayer color. In my opinion, it looks a little dirty and doesn't make much sense because you can't understand where the light is coming from, and I feel like it's a little bit unprofessional. For the lighting, I just scribbled on the hair with the less saturated, whiter color on top of the shading, on top of everything. It doesn't make sense. I later learned that I have to find a light source in my drawing so that all the shading is not random. For the shading itself, I changed the hue around a little bit. I make it darker and more saturated and see what looks good. I usually go with intuition, like I go down or up depending on what looks good, because I've already learned that, as an example, pink is a good shade for red. But you can find graphs on the internet. I'm gonna show you some. If you want to, you can screenshot them. I first shade, then I add a gradient, and I add some interesting colors that I think would look good, and you're good to go. I usually just shaded with black all around the skin, and it did make sense. As always, today I use some reddish, darker, and more saturated color next to the hair, underneath the eyes and the nose. And after that, I add red blush. I take some blue or purple and I add it where I think the darkest parts are to make the drawing look more exciting. I added a little highlight above the nose because the light source is coming from the top, so that would make sense, but you don't have to do that. For the eyes, I added a little dark above, a little light below. I never shaded the whites for some reason. I guess I wanted them to look like they're glowing. After I make the shadow for the eyes, which is fairly simple, I like adding some completely different color to the top that would look well with the rest. And also I give the whites a little shadow. As you can already understand, I had no idea what a light source was, and I just lazily tried to shade around the clothes like I did with the rest of the body. I like adding gradients before starting to shade because it looks so much better and cooler, and I can't explain it. I try to understand what objects cast shadows on another objects, and I try to add shadows there. It's safe to say that I still have no idea where folds go and where to put them, so I do what I feel is right, but I'm just a dummy when it comes to clothes. For a long time, I kept leaving the outlines black, while right now, I love coloring anything and everything, and it makes the drawing look a whole lot sicker. I need to add a cool sound here. I added a background, and that's what I got. Happy 2026, everyone. I'm happy to see you all here, and I'm glad you watched till now and supported my channel. I'm still trying to understand what I like making more, so let me know what content you'd like me to make in the comments, please. Thank you. I'm going insane. Goodbye, everybody.